This EFT tapping is probably good for anyone that's gone through internal family systems therapy, as you tend to sit with your emotions rather than discuss them. But I have a quote from the internet. It goes as such: every mental health professional I've ever talked to has been like, you have a lot of self-awareness. And I'm like, yes, I actually think that's part of the problem. Now, let's do an EFT tapping on this so we can talk and also feel into our emotions. And I've actually taken a break from my counselor, as it seems to be all about me for some reason. It's never about him. So taking full responsibility for your own well-being and repeating after me. Let's go with that flow and let's begin to tap. Even though I have a lot of self-awareness and I'm aware of my problems, of all of these emotional problems, I'm so aware and very reflective about the things that have happened to me. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though I might be able to express very verbally and very logically to some emotions that make me feel illogical and irrational when triggers get triggered. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though I'm very self-aware, I'm aware of my problems, and I'm aware of my problems, and I'm aware of myself being aware of all these problems that I'm aware of, rather than feeling them. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. I'm so self-aware. I'm very self-aware. I'm aware of all parts of myself, all of my parts. I'm so consciously aware. I'm so aware of myself. At all times of my day, I am aware. Keeping this awareness of all of my emotions and how I think and feel. Because I'm on the ready to be self-aware. But there are times in my life where I can't be aware of all of my experiences. I have an autonomic nervous system for a reason. Because if I had to consciously think how to breathe, how to pump my heart, how to generally live in general, with conscious thought alone, of awareness of all these things I have to manage, I'd probably stop to live. Because I can't manage all things. Some things are on my unconscious, my subconscious, those things that I'm not aware of. But I am aware of the things that do arise in my mind. And people might compliment me about how self-aware I am. I might show up to that therapist who says, "You're so self-aware." And I even identify that's a problem due to my self-awareness. This awareness of self that is aware that there's problems, that is dealing with these problems with conscious thought, rationalizing these emotions, thinking about them, all these feelings that I have to manage. I'm aware of how they affect me, as long as they don't affect me. But there are some times when my conscious brain goes offline when things happen to me, when I go to sleep, and those unconscious thoughts start to arise, and the intelligence of my body starts to send signals, and I might wake up in a fright. There might be that trigger that I can't emotionally control myself, that sprouts up and makes me act irrationally. That conscious mind goes offline. And all these feelings that I've been holding on to, these problems, start to overwhelm. But I'm smarter than that. I can deal with this. I just got to think about it more. I've got to chuck my dirty clothes in the laundry. And without any water or any laundry detergent, I just watch them go round and round. Because I can think my way out of this problem. And as I think and I think and I think, I still come out in a stink. Because I've still got these problems that are carrying with me. Sometimes my self-awareness, maybe self-protection. Because if I can be aware of a problem, I can build a defense as a way to avoid it. And these problems can circle around my walls that protect me from feeling these feelings. These feelings of these problems. This awareness of this problem doesn't allow me to feel into this problem. It's like identifying it as a fire alarm, but doing nothing about it. Just sitting there and going, this is fine. But does my body feel fine? Or is it calling out? And I'm stuck in analysis paralysis, paralyzed in fear of feeling into these strong emotions. And that's understandable, because these problems that happen to me are very scary to deal with. So why would I deal with it? I might think of many different ways to logically avoid it, rather than leaning into and starting to solve these problems. Because even logically, if I have a problem, a maths problem, a cleaning problem, one would want to logically solve it, rather than sit in the self-awareness of knowing there's a problem and not feeling into the problem. These emotions and these feelings need caring for, need nurturing. Can I explain love? Logically? Use many poetic words, but nothing beats arms around my shoulders, holding of a space for myself, allowing my feelings to take its place, and allowing its vulnerability to be felt into, to know that my feelings do matter, and all of these things that have happened to me, all of these problems, I don't have to hold on to anymore. In embracing my problems, I can start to dissolve my problems, rather than being aware of the problems and finding many different ways to avoid these problems. I might not be self-aware. I might be just protecting myself from all these problems that have happened to me. And I can gently tap away these problems. Because the self-awareness that I have is merely of the problems that have happened to me. And there might be a lot more awareness out in the world if I feel into these problems and create new experiences for myself that aren't so problematic. Maybe when I rock up to my therapist, rather than romanticizing about how self-aware I am, we can start to lean into these problems and move away from these problems. Make emotional growth rather than logical vanity. It's good that I'm aware of a problem, but I want to address this problem so it's no longer a problem. By giving my thinking a break for a while, breaking down those barriers, and allowing my emotions to flow. It's not right that I was hurt. It's scary that I can't be loved. I'm afraid of my anger. This shame that I was told. I don't like that I believe in it. I'm trying to be perfect. Because if I can be perfect, then I won't be told how faulty I am. Of all of these feelings, which felt the most for me. And I don't have to think about it. I just have to notice that feeling and lean into it. I'm reducing the intensity of all this hostility that happened to me. It wasn't nice, but I'll be nice to myself. Dropping the guard on my feelings and allowing them to flow. And being aware of these emotions as they pass, and being aware of the new emotions that take its place. I might need time to settle for these feelings to take place. My new sense of self, who I want to identify with, rather than the problems that were getting in my way. I'm gaining a new self-awareness by letting go of the pain that was affecting myself, of all these negative thoughts that rinse and repeat in my mind and come out in the same state. I'm being more for myself. I'm lancing that boil and letting that toxicity flow that happened to me. Not everything is my fault, but I can be empowered by starting to address my problems rather than being aware of them. I'm feeling into my parts and connecting to my inner child and saying you're not a problem to me. I'm embracing all parts of myself, whether I'm aware of it or not, in mind, body, and spirit. And taking a full breath in and out. And allow your autonomic nervous system to take over your breathing. It's going to be a lot more easy for your life, a lot less complications for some things to just happen, and sometimes just allowing our emotions to take place and to allow them to flow. We don't tend to cry and analyze as we cry, but it can actually prevent us from releasing some tears sometimes. So getting out of the way of ourselves and allowing emotions to flow can actually create space for new perceptions, new senses of self, and how we believe within ourselves. Rather than going around in a circle of negative thoughts and just getting the negative outcome, we can start to break that circuit and start to charge up our new self by empowering our new self by no longer entertaining negative thoughts. So I'll catch you next week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.